we talk defense. We talk defense. We have to show the offense some love. So, with that being said, we have our player of the week, and it's an offensive player. And we're going to feature this guy. And Foster, I hope you've done your homework on this guy. Tell us about this man, Sam Laporta, out of Iowa, tight end.
Yeah, so the highlighted player this week is Sam Laporta. He's a tight end out of Iowa. Iowa is a bit of a tight end U. They've had guys such as Hawkinson, as well as George Kittle come out of Iowa. So they're known for developing great tight ends. But just to give you guys some background on Sam Laporta, he was a 3-star recruit. And he played DB wide receiver and tight end in high school. So he has that background of athleticism. He ran a 4.52 40-yard dash. So he grades well athletically. I'm gonna get into some of his.
He doesn't run a 4.52 now though. They bulked him up a little bit, but he's still pretty. He has quick feet though.
Absolutely.
I don't want everybody thinking we got a 4.5. We got a 4.5 speed tight end. We don't. That was in high school. That
was okay. Okay, cool. Okay. So just to give you a little breakdown of what his strengths and weaknesses are. We'll start with the weaknesses. His weaknesses are his strength. He's not the biggest. Like he doesn't. As far as his blocking and things of that nature, that's what he doesn't flourish in the best. His arm length and his bench was one of the few scores that didn't that didn't sell as well. But as far as his strengths, definitely his ability to run after the catch. Like I said, he's a pretty fleet of foot tight end. So the short and intermediate routes are the ones that he does the best in, and I think that's one of his roles that he had in college was just being able to check down routes and being able to create things after the catch. I was looking at his numbers, and his production his last 2 years was pretty good as far as his receptions, but he didn't score a lot of touchdowns. I want to say that was due to the fact that one of his other weaknesses is his catch radius, and that's basically his ability to like jump balls, and those are some of the ways that he needs to improve on. Is just being able to catch radius is there's like a imaginary circle, when a receiver's arm goes up and what they're able to obtain. And that's one of the things that he struggled at. So I would not be surprised if in the red zone, the Lions lean on the Brock Wrights and the James Mitchells of the world, because it seems like Sam Laporta flourishes more in the open field and not so much in the close yardage situations, which is why he only had one touchdown, despite having, I think he had like 50 plus catches his junior and senior year.
But hold on. But the thing about that is Iowa's offense was a lot to be desired too. Like he was probably the only, they focused on him because he was the one that they had to look out for. He was the primary target, and he might have led them in receptions.
Probably.
For the last 2 years, that offense, the Iowa offense, was not explosive by any means. Right. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
But yeah, so overall, he's a pretty well-rounded tight end. He doesn't have one particular attribute that jumps out at you. But the one thing that was impressive to me, his senior year, he tore his meniscus in the last game of the year, and came back for the bowl game. Of course, your last game to the bowl game is a month or so in separation. But just the simple fact that he was willing to, because he knew that he was going to go, early, first, second, he was going to go early on in the draft. But the fact that he was willing to put it all on the line and come back for a quote unquote meaningless bowl game, I think that showed, some serious heart and dedication to, put it on the line like that. So I definitely like seeing something like that from him. And I'm really looking forward to him. I think he had a great camp he's had a great camp this far. He's showed out, and I think that he's probably going to be tight end 1, possibly 1A, 1B going into this year. So we will see. Because second round, 34th pick, he was almost a first round pick. So
yeah.
high expectations for that.
Usually they don't draft tight ends in the first round unless you're a Lion and of the old regime. But
Right.
anyway,
Hawkinson, first round, first pick.
Eric Ebron.
Oh God, yeah, you're right.
I'm sorry. I apologize for that. Well, we got to give it up for Sam, man. Gotta give that man the lion roar for that, man. So Foster, we've talked about the position groups in depth. It's time for you to rant, man. You got a Foster rant for us this week?
Well, I feel like the rants are going to be so much more potent and epic when once we've seen them. Obviously we got to hear about the inter squad, matchup between the Giants in practice, anyways, between the Giants and Lions. But upcoming, we got an actual preseason game, so we'll really get an opportunity to see where we're at. But we got to put it all together. The hype is high. The hype is high. Even
and
more
that game
hype.
is Thursday, right?
Friday.
That game is Friday, and we will definitely recap the game. I know it's just preseason, but we're gonna talk about it.
We definitely
next show we're talking about the preseason game. It is what it is. We can't talk about training camp and depth charts the whole off season. We're going to get right to it. We're going to dissect this game and see what we see. I think whether they're first string, second string, or third string, we need to know what they're doing. We need to know. We need to see fundamentals. We need to see something, and we're going to talk about it on this show. So
absolutely. So we got to put it all together, and because they're gonna be watching. They're gonna be watching to see what we bring to the table, and they're gonna run through it with a fine-tooth comb if something don't look right. So